PUC students. Today I will go for the first class for the second PUC students, and the topic for this 13th topic, the topic is nuclei. Now in this topic, first I will give the information about what are the contents, what are the concepts you are going to learning for, especially for this year. Due to COVID-19, some part of this topic it will be deleted. Some part of this topic it will be deleted. Few concepts will be deleted. And what are those deleted concepts and what are the concepts which retain? About that first I will give the information. Later I will give the introduction for this topic and what are the contents which you are going to learning. What are the concepts which you are going to learning in this topic, that I will give the complete information. After that we will go in detail about the topic nuclei. So here is the contents which retain, that means which are you are going to learning for this year. First one is introduction. Introduction to nuclei. What you are going to learning about the nuclei. Basically, who was explained about this part. So that we are going to give the information. I will give you. Next, atomic masses and composition and nucleus. Atomic masses and composition. Atomic masses in composition and nucleus. Then next, atomic masses, as you was known usually in case of an atom, what you was learned in the previous topic. This is 13th topic. Previous topic will be atom, in which already was learned about the atomic masses. Here we will go, the addition is nuclear masses. And composition, what the composition which are present in the atom and also in the case of a nucleus. Size of nucleus. Size of nucleus. In case of a size of nucleus, dimensions of the nucleus compared to the dimensions of the atom, we are going to learning, and how to find out their nucleus. What is the shape of the nucleus? What is its dimension? What is its radius? That we are going to learning in case of a size of nucleus. And also in case of a size of nucleus, not only the size of nucleus, you are also going to learning about the density of the nucleus. What is the charge of the nucleus? That also we are going to learning in this part. Size of nucleus, after that mass energy and nuclear binding energy. Mass energy and nuclear binding energy. Nuclear binding energy. And in this case, actually you are going to learning mass energy and nuclear binding energy, except binding energy per nuclei nucleon. That means you are not going to learning about except binding energy. Binding energy per nucleon. Binding energy per nucleon, which we will call it as specific binding energy, and its variations with mass number and its variation with mass number. Its variation with mass number. Actually, you are going for mass energy relation. That is what according to Einstein's we are going to getting. Then later nuclear binding energy. That means the nucleons, commonly we will call it as nucleons, which is the composition of positively charged particles called proton and electrically neutral particles called neutron. Those protons and neutrons will be bound together. Whenever they will be bound together, if you want to separate them, then some amount of energy will be required. That minimum amount of energy required to separate the composition of nucleus, the constituent of nucleus. So what the energy will be required, usually that energy we call it as a binding energy. About the definition you have and how to calculate that binding energy, for that I will give the formula according to the Einstein's mass energy relation. That we will discuss in the regular classes. So here you are going to not learning about the specific binding energy, which is nothing but binding energy per nucleon. Though I will give brief information about that one. And variation of this specific binding energy with respect to the mass number, how it will be varies. So usually that is not there for your portion. Though I will give the information for that because of some objective type questions, CET questions, or in case of a NEET and JEE, they may ask based on that concept. Next one. Nuclear forces. Nuclear forces. As you was known already, in case of even in first PC also, that too in introduction topics, there are some basic forces in the nature. There are some basic or fundamental forces in nature. And they are nothing but what you was learned. One is the gravitational force, second one is the electromagnetic force, and third one is what the nuclear force. And in this nuclear force, there are two types will be there. One is the strong nuclear force and another is the weak nuclear force. And what is that strong and weak nuclear force and what are their properties, that we are learning. So I will give the information about that also. Then nuclear energy. Nuclear energy. As you was known, whenever any object or any particle or any body during its fusion and during its fission, that means the two light particles or the two particles during their combination, they will be released some amount of energy. And also whenever the heavy object, heavy body, when it is going to breaking, during that also there is the amount of energy to be released. So in case of a nuclear energy, whenever the heavy nuclei, it will be breaks up into two nuclei or any number of nuclei. During that time, there is a releasing of enormous amount of energy. combine to form a heavy nuclei, during that time also there is a releasing of enormous amount of energy. So during these process, what the energy will be released, and that energy here we will call it as a nuclear energy. I think it was learned in 10th standard. In case of a nucleus, there are two phenomena can take place. One is the nuclear fission and another is the nuclear fusion. During the nuclear fission and during nuclear fusion, there is an enormous amount of energy will be released, and that energy here we are going to calling it as nuclear energy. So these are the contents, these are the concepts you are going to learning for this year especially. Due to COVID-19, some portion will be deleted and retained portion is this much for this topic. Here I will give the information what portion they will be deleted, and here I will write this part is deleted part. So here actually this is 13.1 according to your NCERT syllabus, and this one is 13.7. 13.6 concept will be deleted, and that is 13.6 concept. According to NCERT syllabus, in the contents they wrote it like that, 13.1, 13.2 like that. Radioactivity. And in this radioactivity, you are going to learning about alpha decay, beta decay, gamma decay, and later we will study, later we will read it as alpha rays, beta rays, and gamma rays. What are the properties that you are going to actually, there is a topic in which it is present, but due to COVID some portion is deleted, that part is deleted. Not only that much, still it will be there. The properties of alpha, beta, their properties. Then again, radioactive decay law. In this only you are going to radioactive decay law. Disintegration law, we also call it as radioactive disintegration law or radioactive decay law. And half-life, mean life, half-life and mean life of radioactive element. These are the concepts which actually present in the topic nuclei. But this portion, especially for this academic year, it will be deleted. Though I will give the brief information about the what is radioactivity, what is alpha decay, means alpha rays, beta rays, gamma rays, what are their properties. Few properties I will give the information. Then radioactive decay law, what is that radioactive decay law? What is the statement and which causes, and that law it will be helps to what? What we have to find out. That also we are going to give the information. And also half-life and mean life. Usually, as you was known, you may be learned in the previous classes briefly about the radioactivity. Just one point I will tell you. Radioactivity is the phenomena in which there is a spontaneous disintegration of heavy nuclei. The phenomena in which the spontaneous disintegration of heavy nuclei by the emission of certain radiation. Spontaneous disintegration of heavy nuclei by the emission of certain radiations. This phenomena is known as radioactivity. One is the natural radioactivity and another is artificial radioactivity. But here what the phenomena which was discovered by Henry Becquerel, which is the natural radioactivity. That is what the natural radioactivity was discovered by Henry Becquerel. And he was given the statement, the spontaneous disintegration of heavy nuclei by the emission of certain radiation. Later, the artificial radioactivity, the radioactive phenomena can take place due to the artificially prepared, artificially obtained radioactive elements, such as due to the some isotopes, due to the some nuclear phenomena. There is also again the activity, radioactive phenomena can take place. So usually that it was discovered by Irene Curie Joliet and Frederick Joliet. They were discovered. That is artificial radioactivity. In this case, you are going to learning this radioactive decay law. Means the rate of disintegration. Rate of disintegration is directly proportional to number of atoms which are present in the radioactive sample. Number of rate of disintegration is directly proportional to the number of atoms present in it. That is what the decay law or radioactive decay law or disintegration law. So whenever there is a disintegration, there is a number of atoms which are present in the sample will be goes on decreases. As the number of atoms which are present in the original radioactive element is goes on decreases. During that time, the time period or life of that radioactive element is goes on decreases. And here is the life period we are going to measuring as half-life and mean life we are going to measuring, but not whole life of the radioactive element. Because of in future in the regular topics we are going to learning the total life of radioactive element is infinity. Complete life of radioactive element is infinity, but infinity is indeterminate form. So for that purpose we are not going to measuring total life. Only we are going to having the concepts. One is the half-life period. Half-life period in the sense the time required to disintegrate. The time required to disintegrate 50% of the atoms which are present in the radioactive sample. Then what the time taken to disintegrate? 50% of the atoms which are present in the original element or 50% will be retained. That time we are going to measure in the half-life period. And later mean life means average life of all the atoms of radioactive element in the measurement marking. Average life of all the atoms of radioactive sample. Adukka mean life anta karitheve. Those concepts actually it was deleted. It is deleted for this academic year only, not in the next academic year. ಈ academic year ನಲ್ಲೇ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಡಿಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಯಾರ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಡೆವಿಯೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತಾವ, ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟೀಸ್ ಬರ್ತಾವ, ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಪ್ರೂವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಲ್ಲಿ, which are actually very very useful. Okay, that we will see later. Now we will go for in case of a nuclei introduction. Before going to the nuclei, as was known, the physics it will be deals with the nature and what the nature will be manifesting. About that we are going to learn. So in which year we are going to learning matter and energy. In case of a matter, the matter is that which has a mass and occupies space. And in case of a matter, as was known, there are the matter will be exist in 3 different states. And the 3 different states are solid, liquid and gases. That you was known already. Every matter, either it may be in solid state or it may be in liquid state or it may be कौन सा भी स्टेट में मैटर ಏನಿದೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ but every matter will be made up of a very small particle, either it may be in solid state or liquid state or in gaseous state, but every matter it will be made up of a very small particles, and those small particles are invisible. Those small particles are invisible and indivisible. That is according to Dalton's hypothesis. According to the Dalton's hypothesis, which was learned in the previous classes also. Every matter, either it may be in solid state or liquid state or in gaseous state, including our body, including living and non-living, which are made up of a very small particles, which are invisible and indivisible. That is according to Dalton's hypothesis, which he was given in the year of 1808. But his concept now, it was discarded. Some part of that concept will be discarded. And the discarded part is what? Atom is indivisible according to Dalton. According to Dalton, ಏನದ atom indivisible ಅದ. Indivisible ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೇನು, indivisible ಆಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೋಲೆ atom. But after the discovery of electron by J.J. Thomson, after the discovery of electron by J.J. Thomson, then the concept of that hypothesis it was discarded. That is what? Atom is indivisible ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಡಿಲೀಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು, ಅದು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಆಯ್ತು, ರಾಂಗ್ ಆಯ್ತು. Because of after the discovery of electron, here the atom is having a structure, atom is divisible ಅಂತ ಪ್ರೂವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. After the discovery of electron by J.J. Thomson in the year 1897, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವಾಗ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಲ್ಲಿ atom it will be consists of negatively charged particle. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವು ಕಲ್ತೀವಿ in case of atom na, in case of atom आप learn आप पढ़े Thomson's atom model ಅಂತ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. Thomson's atom model ಅಂತ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ the atom will be consists of a constituent particles which are negatively charged particles, and they are called electrons. And he was also given about the atom model, which we will call it as a Thomson's atom model, in which he was stated that the atom will be just like a watermelon. Atom it will be just like a watermelon, in which the seeds which are present in the watermelon, they are known as electrons, and the remaining matter, which is positively charged matter, that it was given by Thomson, which we will call it as a Thomson's atom model. But of course, due to some properties, due to some characters, his theory is not up to date. There is some difficulties. There is some phenomena could not be explained by that. So therefore, that model we are not going to continue with. Just there, according to the Thomson's atom model, the atom it will be like a watermelon in the spherical shape, in which the seeds which are present in the watermelon are similar to the electrons which are present in the atom. Whereas the other matter which is present in the watermelon, that is positively charged. ಅದು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ ಯಾರು? ಥಾಮ್ಸನ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಥಾಮ್ಸನ್ಸ್ ಅಟಮ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದರ ನಂತರ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ the another scientist was explained about the atom, about the atomic structure, about the atom model, and that it was explained by Rutherford. ಅದು ಯಾರು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು? Rutherford. Lord Rutherford, and which we will learn it as atom. And that you are going to learn in this. ಅದನ್ನೇ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲಿತೇವೆ. Rutherford atom model is the basic need, is the basic, that is what? Introduction. And this is what you are going to learn. Rutherford's explanation about the nucleus. Rutherford's explanation about the nucleus. And that evolves, that it will be develops about the nuclei. Only in the start. Of course, some properties, some characters, they will be not satisfied. So therefore, later it will be again modified. ಅದು ಮಾಡಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ ನಮಗೆ ಇದರ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ರುದರ್ಫೋರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಮಾಡೆಲ್ क्या होता है, ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತದೆ ಅದು ಬ್ರೀಫ್ ಆಗಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Rutherford's atom model, that only what we will be learning in case of a introduction to nuclei. Sir, look here. According to the Rutherford's explanation, according to the Rutherford's observation, what the atom which is will be in a spherical in shape, in which the most of the mass of an atom, most of the mass of an atom, most of the mass of an atom is concentrated at the center. At the center, most of the mass of an atom is concentrated at the center of atom. At the center of atom, and that is what he called as nucleus. Most of the mass of an atom is concentrated at the center of atom, which he called as nucleus. Whereas the negatively charged particles called electrons, the negatively charged particles called electrons are revolving around the nucleus. ಏನಂತ ಮತ್ತದ ಜೊತೆಗೆ negatively charged particles called electrons are revolving around the nucleus. ಆ negatively charged particle ಇರ್ತವಂತ ಯಾರಿಂದ? That is discovered by Thomson. According to the Thomson's explanation, according to the Thomson's atom model, the electrons are common constituent particles of all the matter. So therefore, every atom consists of a negatively charged particles called electrons, and those electrons are moving around the nucleus. Here is the, for example, this is the nucleus and this is the atom, and most of the mass of an atom is concentrated at the center of the atom, which he called as nucleus. And this nucleus is positively charged. A nucleus, the nucleus is positively charged. Nucleus is positively charged. And negatively charged electrons, negatively charged electrons are moving around the nucleus. This negatively charged electron is moving around the nucleus. This nucleus is positively charged, the negatively charged electrons are moving around the nucleus. But here, what the charge which is present on the nucleus, positively charged, that positive charge, the magnitude of positive charge at the nucleus and the magnitude of the negatively charged electrons, or the number of electrons which are present, the total negative charge of that is same as that of the positive charge of the nucleus. One irbodu electron, ಎರಡು irbodu, ಮೂರು irbodu, we don't know that. There are many number of electrons. Later you are going to finding that one. Later you are going to knowing how many electrons are present which are revolving around the nucleus. nucleus is positively charged. Constituent of the nucleus is later it will be discovered. Nucleus ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನು ಅದಾವ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇವ ಹೇಳೋದು ರದರ್ಫೋರ್ಡ್ ಹೇಳೋದು nucleus is positively charged ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. After some basic properties of the atom, after some properties and after some discoveries, later it was known that the nucleus, it is positively charged, which consists of positively charged particles called protons and neutral particles called neutrons. ಅದರ ನಂತರ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತದ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ಲಿ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೋಟಾನ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತವ ಮತ್ತು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕಲಿ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ कौन सा रहते हैं न्यूट्रॉन्स बोल के रहते हैं. उसके लिए द कंपोजिशन ऑफ न्यूक्लियस, द कंस्टिट्यूएंट ऑफ न्यूक्लियस आर protons and neutrons. Here the protons are positively charged, neutrons are electrically neutral, whereas the electrons which are moving around the nucleus, they are negatively charged. And as the Thomson and Millikan, including the Faraday's experiment, Thomson's experiment, Thomson-Millikan's experiment, and the Faraday's laws of electrolysis, finally it was concluded that the electrons are negatively charged particles whose the magnitude of negative charge is equal to minus 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulombs ಅಂತ find out ಮಾಡಿದಾರೆ. ಅದರ contribution Faraday's laws of the Faraday contribution of the Thomson's contribution of the Millikan's contribution. According to the Thomson's and Millikan Iron experiment, the electron is negatively charged. According to Thomson, there is an electron in the atom. The magnitude of charge is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19. That is according to the Faraday's laws of electrolysis. How will you ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತದೆ 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb charge on the electron. ಯಾವ ಲಾದಿಂದ ಅದು Faraday's laws of electrolysis. ಥಾಮ್ಸನ್ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿದು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಅಂತ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿದು ಅದರ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ Faraday's law ದಿಂದ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿದೆ. ಅದರ ನೇಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಬೈ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ದ ಥಾಮ್ಸನ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಮಿಲಿಕನ್ ಐಡಾಪ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆರಿಮೆಂಟ್. ಥಾಮ್ಸನ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಮಿಲಿಕನ್ ಇಬ್ಬರು ಕೂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಯಾರ ಥಾಮ್ಸನ್ಸ್ ಮಿಲಿಕನ್ ಐಡಾಪ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆರಿಮೆಂಟ್. ಅದರಿಂದ ನೇಚರ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿದೆ. ಆ ನೇಚರ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿದೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ಲಿ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತಿದೆ. Rutherford he was stated that the negatively charged electrons are moving around the positively charged nucleus. Here is the number of protons are represented by Michael, and according to some properties later it was known that the number of protons which are present in the nucleus is equal to number of electrons which are moving around the nucleus. So hence the proton charge and total number of electronic charge both are equal. Both are equal means the sum of these two charge becomes 0. ಒಂದು ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರೋಟಾನ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ದಾಗ ಅಷ್ಟು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಮೂವಿಂಗ್ ಅರೌಂಡ್ ದ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್. ಪ್ರೋಟಾನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ಲಿ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ and electrons are negatively charged. The charge on proton, one proton, and charge on one electron will be having the same magnitude, and that magnitude is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. For electron it is negative, for proton it is positive. Adukka net charge of the atom is 0. Net charge of the atom is 0. Adukka atom is electrically neutral. Atom is electrically neutral. But ಇಲ್ಲಿ Rutherford's nuclear model of atom ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇಲ್ಲಿ failure ಯಾಕೆ ಆಗ್ತದ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇಲ್ಲಿ wrong ಆಗ್ತದ, ಹೆಂಗೆ ಆಗ್ತದ. Rutherford he was explained that the negatively charged electron is moving around the nucleus. The negatively charged electron is moving around the nucleus. Whenever it is moving around the nucleus, according to the classical mechanics, any particle or any object which is in motion, it emits the energy. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್, ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಬಾಡಿ, any object, whenever it is in motion, it gives the energy, as you was learned in case of mechanics. The energy possessed by the body by virtue of its motion is called kinetic energy. So similar to that, by using that concept here, whenever the electron is moving around the nucleus, it must emit the energy. So whenever that electron is moving in the circular orbit, emitting some energy, whenever it emits the energy, then it will be loses its own energy. adu yaವಾಗ energy emit ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತದಲ್ಲ, ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಜೋಸ್ के पास energy रहते हैं, वो क्या होता है, काम होते जाता है, ಅದರ ಬಳಿಂದ energy ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ. So whenever it is moving around the nucleus, emitting the energy, and its own energy will be goes on decreases. Due to the property of the electric charges, there is some force of attraction between the unlike charges. So here this is electron and this is positively charged nucleus. Here this is negatively charged electron. So whenever it is moving around the nucleus, emitting the energy, loses its own energy, then finally slowly it will be comes closer to the nucleus. In nucleus अभी बढ़ता है. In nucleus अभी बढ़ता है. ಯಾಕಾದ್ರೆ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದ, ಅದು ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದ ಸ್ಪೈರಲ್ ಪಾತ್. It will be move around the nucleus in a spiral path, not only in a circular path. Therefore, the spiral path will move according to classical mechanics. So whenever the electron will be moved in a spiral path and finally fall into the nucleus. Whenever it will be fall into the nucleus, then the charge on electron is collapsed. Charge on electron ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, collapse ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಸತ್ತು ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ, ಅದು ಮರ್ಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. तो नेगेटिव चार्ज है यार, नेगेटिव चार्ज ಹೋಯಿತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಏನದರಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಆಟಮ್ ಏನಾಗಬೇಕು, ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ಲಿ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಬಟ್ ಫಂಡಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ಆಟಮ್ ಏನದ, ಆಟಮ್ ಈಸ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕಲಿ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಲ್. ಬಟ್ ಇವ್ರ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ದ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲನೇಷನ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ದ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಕಲ್ ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ಸ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಆಟಮ್ ಈಸ್ electrically neutral ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, atom is positively charged ಆಗ್ತದೆ. But fundamental property of the atom is electrically neutral. So about this point, ಇದರ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, Rutherford's concept discarded ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Of course, the atom consists of a central part. The most of the mass of an atom is concentrated in the center, and it is positively charged. And it is very very small in size. Well, correct, but that one concept failure. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ nuclear model of atom, what he was explaining, therefore what he was explaining using the one of the phenomena, that is alpha ray scattering. ಯಾವ experiment माना nuclear model atom explain माने ना, कौन सा concept use करके उन्हें explain किए, alpha ray scattering, scattering of alpha particles. Based on the scattering of alpha particles, he was discovered that the atom will be consists of a nucleus along the by using alpha ray scattering. Is it clear up to that? And here the most of the mass of an atom is concentrated at the center of the atom, which we will call it as a nucleus, and its dimension, its size is very very small. The size of the nucleus is very very small, and the size of the nucleus is in the order of 10 raised to minus 15 meter, whereas the size of the atom is 10 raised to minus 10 meter. Atomic size is in the order of 10 raised to minus 10. The nuclear size is in the order of 10 raised to minus 15. And ಅದರ ಅರ್ಥ ಏನು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ atom size ಎಷ್ಟದ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಇದು ರೇಡಿಯಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ 1 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ ಅದ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. atom ರೇಡಿಯಸ್ ಏನದ 1 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ऐसा समझो 1 किलोमीटर है. तो न्यूक्लियस का साइज, न्यूक्लियस का रेडियस, ये दोनों का डिफरेंस निकालो. 10 raised to minus 10, 10 raised to minus 15, so you will get 10 raised to 5. And here is the 10 raised to 5 means 1 kilometer means 1000 meters, 1000 means 10 raised to 3 meters, and here in terms of centimeter if you want to convert 10 raised to 5 centimeter. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ 1 ಮೀಟರ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ 100 ಸೆಂಟಿಮೀಟರ್ ಸಿಗ್ತಾವ. ಮೀಟರ್ ಇದ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು 100 ಸೆಂಟಿಮೀಟರ್ ಬರೀತೀವಿ. 10 raised to 3, 10 raised to 2 ಆಯ್ತು. ಟೋಟಲ್ 10 raised to 5 ಸೆಂಟಿಮೀಟರ್ atom ಸೈಜ್ ಅದ ಅಂತ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ರೇಡಿಯಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ atom ಎಷ್ಟದ 10 raised to 5 ಸೆಂಟಿಮೀಟರ್ ಅದ ಅಂತ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಅದೇ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಸೈಜ್ ಎಷ್ಟಾಗ್ತದೆ, ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ರೇಡಿಯಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟಾಗ್ತದೋ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಫ್ 1 ಸೆಂಟಿಮೀಟರ್. ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ರೇಡಿಯಸ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತದ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಫ್ 1 ಸೆಂಟಿಮೀಟರ್. 1 ಸೆಂಟಿಮೀಟರ್ ರೇಡಿಯಸ್ ಇದೆ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್. and 1 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್, 1 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ means 10 raised to 5 centimeters. ಅದು atomic size. ಅಂದ್ರೆ atom is very very much greater than comparing to its nucleus. And therefore here between this outer surface of the atom and the nucleus, between these there is some space will be there. Illi some space around, and that space is empty. ಆ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ most of the space of an atom, most of the space of an atom is empty. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ one of the concept you may be learn in case of introduction to modern physics, the matter is discontinuous. The matter is discontinuous. Initial philosophers they were given the information about this. Most of the space of an atom is empty. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ matter is discontinuous. Matter is not a continuous. Matter is discontinuous. Because of here only it is. You are going to observing the nucleus is very very small, whereas the atom is very very large. Between the nucleus and outer surface of the atom there is some space, and that space is empty. And according to your volume measurement, that most of the space of an atom is empty. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಈಸ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಂತ. ಅದೇ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಇವತ್ತಿದು ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತದೆ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ದಿಕ್ವೆ. ಇದು ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಅದ, ಬಟ್ ಇದು ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಯೇಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ಸ್ ಅದ, ಪೋರಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದೇರ್. ಇದು ಚಾಕ್ ಪೀಸ್ ಅದ, ಇದು ಚಾಕ್ ಪೀಸ್ ಆಲ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಡಿಸ್ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಕಣಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನಡುವೆ ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನಡುವೆ ಪೋರ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. ಬಟ್ ನಮ್ಮ 5 ರಿಸಾಲ್ವಿಂಗ್ ಪವರ್ ಅಷ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ. 5 ರಿಸಾಲ್ವಿಂಗ್ ಪವರ್ ಭಾಳ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಅದ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತದೆ. ಬಟ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ನೀವು ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಕೋಪಿಕ್ ವ್ಯೂ OV ಅಂತಂದಾಗ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ದ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಕೋಪ್, ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ದ ಆಯಿಲ್ ಇಮರ್ಷನ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಕೋಪ್ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ವಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಇದು ಏನಿರ್ತದೆ, ಇದು ಡಿಸ್ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಟ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ತದೆ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎನ್ atom ಈಸ್ ಎಂಟಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇದು ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೇಡ್ ಅಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಟಮ್ಸ್ ಅದ. ಎಟಮ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಎಂಟಿ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಅದ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಈಸ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅದ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. This is about what the some brief introduction to the nucleus. ಇದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ introduction to the nucleus. ಅದರ ನಂತರ ನಾವು ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ ಅಟಾಮಿಕ್ ಮಾಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ, ಕಾಂಪೋಸಿಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಟಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ, ಕಾಂಪೋಸಿಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. atom composition ಏನು? What is the composition of atom? Atom is made of what? As was known previously, according to the Dalton's hypothesis, atom does not has a structure because of it is indivisible. ಅದು ಇಂಡಿವಿಸಿಬಲ್ ಅದ ಅಂತ ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನದ ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅಥವಾ ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಅದು ಒಂದೇ ಅದ, ಅಲೋನ್ ಅದ, ಯುನಿಕ್ ಅದ. ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬೇರೆ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಫೇಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಶಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಐಸ್, ನೋಸ್, ಮೌತ್, ಇಯರ್ಸ್ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಡಿಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ವಿಷ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಏನು ಡಿಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ವಿಷ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಬರಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫೇಸ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ಹಂಗದು ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಡಾಲ್ಟನ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲನೇಷನ್. ಬಟ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದ ಡಿಸ್ಕವರಿ ಆಫ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಬೈ ಜೆ ಥಾಮ್ಸನ್ ಅವಾಗದು ಅಟಮಿಕ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಅದ ಅಂತ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್. ಆ ಅಟಮಿಕ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಏನದ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕ್ಯೂರಿಯಾಸಿಟಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಐತಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವಾಗ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಟಮ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಭಾಳ ಐತಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಟಮಿಕ್ ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ಓಪನ್ ಇನ್ ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್. ಯಾವಾಗ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದ ಡಿಸ್ಕವರಿ ಆಫ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಬೈ ಜೆ ಥಾಮ್ಸನ್ ದ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಆನ್ ಅಟಮ್ ಈಸ್ ಗಿವ್ ದ ಮೋರ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದಟ್ ಒನ್. ಅವಾಗ ಅದು ಅಟಮಿಕ್ ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್. ಬರ್ತಾ ಬರ್ತಾ ಅಟಮ್ ಮಾಡೆಲ್ ವೇರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಬೈ ಥಾಮ್ಸನ್, ಲೇಟರ್ ರುದರ್ಫೋರ್ಡ್, then again Neil Bohr, then again Summerfield's atom model, vector atom model, ಎಲ್ಲ atom model ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದಾಗ ರುದರ್ಫೋರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಒಂದು ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಏನದ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ atom. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ atom ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ atom it will be mainly made of the three constituent particles and they are nothing but electrons, protons and neutrons. These are the compositions of atom. Basically what? The electrons, protons and neutrons. Protons and neutrons are bound together form a nucleus. And protons and neutrons are commonly called as nucleons. ಅವೆರಡು ಒಂದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಬೌಂಡ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತವೆ. ಅದು ವೆರಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ there is some force between the protons and neutrons which is very very strong, which we will call it as your nuclear force ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದು ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟೀಸ್ ಏನೋ that we will learn it later. ಅದು composition of atoms or atom it will be consists of electrons, protons and neutrons. ಅದರ ನಂತರ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಅದರ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಅವ ಅಂತನೋ ಡಿಸ್ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಯಾರ just like pi mesons ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತಾವ. उसके बाद और भी आते सब एटॉमिक पार्टिकल्स उसमें आते हो. अदे प्रकार composition of nucleus. Nucleus it will be consists of a positively charged particles called protons and electrically neutral particles called neutrons. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ atom ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ 3 ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಅದಾವ. ಒಂದು ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ಲಿ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಪ್ರೋಟಾನ್, negatively charged particle called electron, and neutral particles called neutrons. Just like human beings that have the 3 types of male, female, right? Transgender, male, female, transgender and usually have 3 types classify ಮಾಡ್ಯಾರ. ಹಾಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿನೂ atom ನಲ್ಲಿ 3 types of proton, electron and neutron. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತನಕ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಏನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡೀನಿ. ಇದ್ರ ನಂತರ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. इधर स्टार्ट करके इसके होने के बाद में ये 1 by 1 we will learn it. First we will finish this part, what it is written, what it is present for your syllabus. Later after that we will go for what the portion which is deleted, which is about radioactivity. ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅದು ಇದು ಮುಗಿದ ನಂತರ ಅದು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. Is it clear up to this? Okay, thank you.